Okay, hi everyone! It is Wednesday. Oh my gosh, it is a Wednesday. It is a normal Wednesday for me, which means I'm not going crazy with all of this crazy building terrain and making sure I'm making deadlines and all that fun stuff. So I am super duper eager. Let me just shift the camera here a little bit. I earlier spilled. I earlier spilled some. That's the problem. Ice water. The other option was boiling water, so I lucked out with the ice water, and it was one of those things I went into spaz mode trying to clean everything. But hello, my Muselings. I have missed you. It has been a crazy couple weeks. I just got back from PAX on Monday. I was practically catatonic yesterday while trying to get the house decorated for Christmas for the kids and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, it's one of those things where this one's going to take a little while to get over, but it was a fantastic convention. Now, I was playing earlier because WizKids sent me another one of their fantastic blind boxes, and I got a brick's worth, so I have 8 of them. Now, we already opened up 2 of them last week because we had a snow day, and the kids were getting stir crazy, so I gave them 2 to open, 1 each. And we had some cool things come out of that one. And what I wanted to do, because I've been getting questions about these lately for some reason, there's been this uptick in what do I do with pre-painted minis, which I found interesting. I have done a couple videos like this on my channel tutorial-wise, which you are more than welcome to check out. Hello to everyone joining us. Hi, 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 hi. So who just joined in? Nicholas, hello. Viper, hello. Tautopotamus, hello, hello, hello. So good to have you back in the chat. She can speak. Chatting with you guys. So yeah, I thought it would be cool to do an unboxing of a couple more of these boxes, and we'll take a look at what's in each of them, and I'll show you some of the things I do to these pre-paints from WizKids just to kind of amp them up a little bit. Sometimes they will get a full strip. I have done that mostly with hero clicks of theirs, and then we'll see what happens and who we reveal. So the first box that I opened off screen because, you know, I'm impatient and I had, 6 more sitting in the wings. These were the guys that I got. So this one is a Venom Troll. See? Venom Troll. And it's super duper cool. Except all of the details are kind of lost on it because it's got this more flat look to it. So already I know that just by doing a wash on this one and then going back in with some dry brushing is really going to pop out the boils and the folds in the skin and the lovely little grossness details that are there. And then I can go in and have some fun and maybe even add some slickness, around the mouth to make it look like drool and that type of thing. But the sculpt itself is really cool. It's just the paint job is literally flat. Like there's not too much in terms of raising up the details. Also got a Null Pack Liter, which is really cool looking, but dude has like the Thriller thing going on, except he's leaning back. So this is going to need the boiling water, ice water treatment, which is why I spilled ice water, because he's the one I was going to show how I do the shifting around of my minis to make them a little bit more upright. And I am going to just quickly play with my camera settings one more time, because I'm realizing the closer I get to the camera, the less in focus things are, and that's not what I want. I think it aimed more towards table than towards... There we go. That's better. Okay, so like I said, this is a really cool sculpt. It's got some awesome fabric folds. The chainmail on it is fantastic. He's pretty wonky though. Honestly, this is probably one of the ones where a quick wash would really be all this one needs, because there's actually a little bit of highlighting happening already. It's just things are still slightly just under. And yeah, there's issues with, they just need to be brought out a little bit more. So that is another one I'm going to take care of. Not necessarily, do everything to it on stream. And then I got a turtle. How cute is he? Again, it's more I don't know if I like this whole unified color thing. I might sort of change the tone of the shell as well as the skin and do 2 different color washes. Hello, Mick Sonovitsky. Hey, I'm getting better at that one. And hello, Kenneth. And then there's this lovely fellow, the Woodwode. Honestly, with this one, again, just a simple basic, I'd probably do the Seraphim Sepia and then do a nice dry brushing. Probably 2 different browns, just because make the weapons a little bit of a different tone, because right now it's all the same color. And yeah, there's going to be different things that get corrected along the way, Mailman, because this is by default. He needs a lot of chiropractic aid, let's put it that way. So that is what I plan on doing with those guys, but let's see what else we have, and we can figure out who we're going to take a look at more closely after I get them unboxed. So here is another box, and it's the Icons of the Realms, Volo's and Mordenkainen's Foes, the Dungeons and Dragons line, and these are all from WizKids. So they have this pull tab at the bottom, and usually they come sealed. So I do recommend having your little X-Acto knife with you. I always open them from the bottom. I don't know why, it's just my personal quirk. And so I'll just go across and score. Yep, missed a little bit there. But when you open it up, you get the fun ampersand, which I think is fun. Hello, 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 Kenneth. So let's see who we're getting in this one. And I will cut these off sometimes and just like tape them onto things just for the fun of it. So in this package, we're getting, you can see that comes in this plastic blister. And do be careful when you pull these out because you have some that are sitting in the corners. So I pull those out first. And then we have the big, ooh, what is this? What is this thing? And then we have the bigger piece, and you get 4. You get 4 minis with this, which is actually pretty cool. The blister boxes, it depends on which version you're getting and release in terms of how much they are. So this is a trapper. We've gotten ourselves a trapper, which, as you can see, it definitely has some cool details, but again, pretty darn flat. This is one that I can easily think of a couple different ways to bring out more details, and that's going to be, again, with washing and doing some dry brushing with a couple of different tones besides gray. So that's going to be an easy one to tweak and just sort of amp up more. Let's see, what else did we get here? Oh, it's small, and it's green, and it's a choker. Look at this. Oh, this is small. I mean, you can see with my pinky. This is an itty bitty. This one is going to be a little bit trickier to really... There's not too much detail on it. I would probably just go through and try a little dry brushing to see what I could bring out, but the sculpt itself is pretty smooth, so there's not too much. Oh, you didn't know there was an ampersand at the bottom, Ron. Oh, how funny. I've always opened them from the bottom. It's just been a thing that I've done. So we have that, and then, ooh, this looks cool. Oh, see, right away, look at that. Except there is... Stop it. There's a fiber stuck. Look at that. You can see that. Hold on. Let's see if I can... I might have to get like a genuine pair of tweezers for this. Yeah, this is just breaking off. All right, that's good enough. So, well, a hair? Is that a hair in the paint? It does look like a floating RPG playmat. You're not wrong, Viper. Also, my voice is, as you can hear, it's going in and out because I was talking so much at PAX Unplugged. Oh, PAX Unplugged 2019 was fantastic. All right, so this is who we got. We have the Summer Allegiant. Ooh, like Catriel. Definitely very summery. Also needing some more contrast to them because there's some really awesome details that are totally getting muddled up. And this is just what happens with a lot of these pre-painted things. There is so much you can do with them, though, and there's a lot of potential. But I'm loving the cloak. You have all of these leaves on the back of the cloak. And in the front, again, more of these details. I mean, this is getting lost a little bit. So I'm thinking a wash and then doing some different brushes. Yeah, there's a more monochromatic aspect to these, which, again, if you're in a hurry and you want to get some minis on the table that have color, these are a good option. So it's not that, you know, they're not good for use. But you know how I am. I always like to go back over and try and bring a little bit more out to each of these things, just because a lot of these sculpts have more to them than you realize, and they kind of get a bad reputation for not being that, which is so not the case. I did the whole Xanathar one. Bonjour, Matthew. I did the whole Xanathar one, and he has a lot of cool details to him, but fresh out of the box, you know, couple little tweaks here and there, and it's amazing what you can do. It's also a great way for people who are looking to get into miniature painting to get comfortable to working with minis. Oh, we have another lean back. Lean back. I won't go into details because, you know, copyright. So for this one, we have our Mus'e. Is that how you say it? This is like one of the ones where it's like you read the name, but I've never had to say it out loud before. So they also have the a little tipsy. It's either a little windy or a little tipsy. Again, the skin has a lot of cool details on it. There's more skin folds and stuff happening here that you're not seeing. I don't even know if this one got a wash. I bet you this one didn't even get a wash. So I would, first of all, absolutely start with a wash and bring out everything that's happening here, because there is a lot more. Hello, Akile! But yeah, this one has a lot more potential than you realize. And the face, they actually did a pretty decent job with the mouth and the eyes. It's just really hard to pick up because everything right now is translating to a very light white, grayish color. So we'll put that one down. All right, so that's the first box. Let's see what we get in the second box. This is always fun. I always like seeing what comes in these things. It's like, well, I mean, we are in the Christmas season, which is kind of why I was thinking, oh, this will be fun to do for Christmas. Because, you know, it's like Christmas and unwrapping the presents. So again, I'm going to go through here. Hold on a second. You are a loud song. Ba-bum. There we go. That's better. I will absolutely, like, I can tell you right now, the Venom Troll, there is no way I am not going to do more with that base, because there's a lot of real estate on that base and fun things I'm thinking can look really cool, like adding some grass tufts and some texture to it. And I think that would be so much better for it. So that is something I have in mind. So again, we're going to open up from the bottom. I always bottom. I think it's maybe so I could put them back in here and then hang that back up is why my brain goes that way. Because I have pegboard and stuff so I can put things up and on display. So again, we have our ampersand for Dungeons and Dragons. And then, ooh, this one's glued. Sometimes they do come glued. So, that's an unexpected surprise. Hello, Dungeon Matron. You're just in time. Never late, just in time. Always good to have everyone join us. And hello, random man things. How are you? It's free real estate. It absolutely is. So definitely I go back and I'll have fun with the bases. Texture paints are awesome for it. But like I said, little grass tufts, even just adding in things like, you know, little fish gravel stuff to make it look like rocks. That's another great way to add it. So, all right, let me carefully pull. Looks like we got another turtle. I like turtles. All right, so 1, 2. Ooh, a big galoot. Oh, this one's stuck. Thanks, Kenneth. Yeah, I guess we have 30 people watching and only 1 like. Gotta love YouTube. All right, so hold on. This is really hot. That was loud. How do you like the crinkling plastic in your ears, folks? Got the Games Workshop box of skulls. Those are actually a really good source. One to every base you do? Yeah, you could, very much so. Okay, so here we've got... I think we already got one of these fellows. Yeah, Ogre Battering Ram. And, again, it's a great sculpt. Look at the muscle definition and stuff. It's just a little bit flat. This one is definitely wash and dry brush. Or dry brush wash, whichever order you want to go in, how intense you want to make it. But yeah, this guy is... Ooh, this is nice and hefty too. It has a good weight to it. I like that when the bigger guys have some oomph and they're not just sort of flim-flam tipsy. I mean, we could, you know, give them something to make them tipsy, but hey, that's in playing game. But yeah, look at that. And even the wood grain's really cool detail right there. And look at the bandages, or wraps, I should say. You've got this great tattering. And again, this is all lost because there's not really much helping to bring him out. But he's got some really good details on him. Isn't he a handsome fellow? With a face only a mother could love. But yeah, no, he's definitely got a lot going on. I do like how they even shadowed in his eyes a little bit. So they put that into there. You know, might go in and do something like give his tongue more of a reddish pink to them. But yeah, this guy is... I like the way this one feels. This one feels like a solid, good, strong mini. If you get this guy, you're going to be happy. Ooh, I could do back and chest tattoos. Ooh. Like tribal stuff. I just did that on a Goliath for a commission piece, and that was tricky to figure out, but also a lot of fun. Hello, Mia. Nice to see ya. I so did not mean to do that. Sorry. I'm still a little con crash fatigue, so a little punchy. I'm really liking him. Okay, he came out beautifully. He just needs a little ooching. So yes, we have... Ooh, it's another turtle, but it's a different turtle. Ooh, he got magic effects. He or she. Not quite sure. Turtle Druid! Ah! It's a druid! I have a soft spot for druids, can you tell? Oh, but look at this cutie pie. Definitely need to work on... Both of them have tippy spear issues. So I'll fix the spears. So clearly it looks like it's the same sculpt. However, they gave one a spell effect and the other one is without. So standard turtle, No. I don't know, I guess it's supposed to be flames, maybe? But still, no spell effect for standard turtle. The druid turtle, they gave some spell effect in the one hand that's outstretched. But it would be the same thing for both of them. I do something different between skin tones and shell, just to give them a little more visual interest. I really did not mean to make that rhyme like that. That was just total default. Especially because back here they have these cute little pouches, but they're kind of getting lost because everything's this brownish, yellowish tone. All right, so we have the two turtles. And then, what are you? What are you? Come here. Come here. Come here. Hello, Puddin'! I've just been unboxing. I've been unboxing things. Been unboxing so we can see what minis we have to work with and kind of zhuzh up as we go. It may even be we'll start zhuzhing today and finish zhuzhing next week. And I will be taking a break come the Christmas week just because, you know, family's home, all that good stuff. So this is just an iron cobra. And looking at this, I'd probably go through and do a quick dry brush because it's got this metallic sheen to it, which is great, but you're losing all of the ridges that are happening here on it. So almost do like that metallic look by just going back in and quickly dragging the brush up against the edges of those ridges to make them pop out a little bit more, and then just do a wash and call it a day on this fellow. Because they did a decent job with the paint on it. It's just some of its details are kind of wonky in terms of it being muted down. It is very cool though looking. Hello, Base Hunter. Long time no see. All right, so that is the Iron Cobra. I was going to say the Iron Viper. That would be a cool superhero name. I am the Iron Viper. And finally, in our... what are you? Oh, Corid. Look at this. I have a thing for small lately. Zhuzh. Honestly, how would you spell zhuzh? I always like J-U... There's got to be a way to spell it. I'm just not sure. It's a fun word to say, though. This is another one that has some wicked great detail, especially in the hair, but kind of muted down. That's sort of the universal thing. They're not as contrasted. But again, this is a very easy thing to go back in and tweak because the sculpts are good. They just need a little tiny bit of extra TLC. Not so bad. He's got like this dreadlocked hair, which is fantastic and looks really, really good. Zhuzh. Zhuzh. How would we spell zhuzh? Oh yeah, definitely post what you've painted. I was busy over the weekend. I was going to say I didn't do much crafting. I'm like, no, I actually did do a decent amount of crafting. I will be doing a live stream Friday. However, I'm bumping it up about an hour. I'm going to get started at 11 tomorrow. Not tomorrow morning, because tomorrow's Thursday. Friday morning, I'm going to get started at 11 my time, which is Eastern time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate the workshop that I did at PAX Unplugged, which is basically... it's focusing on the paint that I did for the different tiles, because I do have on my channel the diamond tile pattern, as well as the, I like how everyone's like trying out the zhuzh thing now, the diamond tile pattern, which is an older video on my channel. I've worked it out for dungeon tiles, how to do a quick job of creating those, and then going into the paint scheme for that, as well as taking your classic 3x3 grid and making that more of a rainbow sandstone, basing it off of the technique that I have in my dice tower video for the, I think that was the dwarven style dice tower that was in that video. Again, I'm just trying to bring more color in, because after doing the cobalt press terrain, telling you I'm still tired. After doing the cobalt press terrain and making a point of pulling in color and seeing the response it was getting at the demo table, I absolutely definitely cannot recommend enough to start focusing on drawing in colors into your terrain builds, because that really pulls the players into what you have set up and gets them focused and intrigued by what you have going on. Okay, so these are all the lovely minis that I just opened up today from the Icons of the Realm and it's Zolo's Mordenkainen. I'm trying to get a box right now. Pre-painted plastic figures, Dungeons and Dragons from WizKids. Okay. So I've opened up 3 of these boxes and I've gotten 12 minis. Cobalt Tourette's. That's so bad. That's so bad of me. Oh, jeez. She's a little tired, folks. She's just a tiny bit tired. So I think what I'll do is, who do I want to focus on? Who should we focus on getting these cleaned up a little bit? The turtles are going to be easy enough. Let me put the turtles over here. So we have the turtles. We have our two interesting lean back issues. They're caught in a windstorm or wall of wind, something along that. So these guys need to get straightened out. So I can show you the whole straightening out thing right quick. We'll put these two to the side for definitely straightening out and fixing. They're fixing for a fixing. This guy would be a quick and easy. I'll do this one. I'll show you how to quickly bring out more details on this one because that's just going to be, it flies. That one's going to be a quick and easy remedy. I can very easily tap into my plaid craft paints for that one. The allegiant. All right, so we have someone wanting the allegiant. This guy definitely has a lot going on for him too. Yeah, that one I wouldn't mind playing around with. Definitely is going to involve a wash first, and then we'll go in and do some dry brushing and highlighting its details. This dude too, quite frankly, he'd be a dry brush then wash in my book because of the muscle tone and everything. I just want to draw that up just a touch, just a little bit more. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll work on him and the allegiant and this guy because these are so much smaller. They're really going to be hard to show you on camera as to what I've done with them. So these guys I'm going to put to the side. Let's put those to the side. We do have the wood woad. The wood woad is another one where I do the dry brush first and then the wash. Okay, so we have dry brush first then wash, which is basically these three. Do I change on spiffing up the bases? Yes, Dungeon Matron. We were talking about how I'll probably go back in and also do the bases. This one would definitely be a wash first and then going in because we have the different things like the boils and whatnot. There'd be crumbs, catch treats, and hairpins underneath it. Absolutely. Okay, so we'll do this one, the trapper. And I keep wanting to go trapper keeper. How conditioned have I been? So we'll take care of the trapper. We will do some stuff with our lovely ogre battering ram mini, as well as our wood woad. And then for washing, we'll start with the venom troll, as well as the summer allegiant, or allegiant. I've heard it pronounced both ways, and I tend to go allegiant. I go the longer A. Hello, John. How are you today? And then we'll first do the whole straightening these guys out. And because they're going to be getting a couple of dips in water, that gives them time to dry out before I do anything further. That's one thing I will stress. If you're going to straighten your minis, do make sure to give them time to dry. Time to dry. Okay, so we have here washes first, dry brushing first, straighten up their act. There we go. Okay, now let me grab my ice water. You do want to make sure you have ice water, and it's definitely, here we go. This was pretty much full ice with just a little bit of water in it to make sure that when it came time to do this, it was nice and icy cold. So I spilled version 1 before the stream itself. I also want to make sure I have, yeah, I guess I'll use these guys for today. I'm going to have my pliers on hand because of the whole, Oh, hello, Ram H. Where can I watch your games? I'm on 2 different channels. I am a DM for the Cobalt Press. That one is sticking today. The Cobalt Press Twitch channel. Every Sunday I do a game called The Last Heir. It is based off the Tales of the Old Margrave. That is a fantastic book. If you want to check it out, I love working with the Margrave Forest. It is just truly magical and enigmatic, and it just has these really neat dynamic elements to it. So you can join us there 8 p.m. every Sunday and see myself and my players go through The Last Heir. We actually have our last episode this coming Sunday, episode 16, and then we're going to do, I have to talk with the producer, but we have a couple things hopefully that we can do between the 2 seasons. We'll hopefully pick up the next season starting in the new year because it's been renewed for season 2, and that'll be fun. And then Thursday nights you can find me on Mini Terrain Domain on Twitch as well, playing Cantriel, my Eladrin, who is based off the DMG, not the other versions, but I do kind of tap into the whole summer, winter, fall, spring aspect. And that is at 8:30 Thursday nights on Mini Terrain Domain. Please feel free to come and join us. Fantastic players, wonderful DM with Jake. He does a great job corralling all of us crazy kids. But that's where you can find me for the live streams. So don't I have those? Or I think I might, I will take a look at that. Did that get erased, I wonder? So those are where you can find me game-wise. I haven't taken on any more games. Oh, wonderful. because I have found that doing too many games each week has been like ridiculously way too much to try and get done at the same time. Okay, now I'm going to start with, are you still hot? Yeah. I'm going to start with boiling water. This was freshly boiled about 20 minutes ago, and it's been in a thermos. Please, oh please, oh please, do not use your fingers for this part. No burning. No burning. All right, so I will try and remember to add those things into my description, and I'll even put it in a pinned comment if I remember, because this brain is like shot. Hello, Jason. A lot of people miss me at PAX because I was everywhere. I had 3 workshops and a panel, and then a couple panels I wanted to attend to support friends who were in them. So it was turned into one of those things where it was just like I was in a bunch of different places, but I didn't really get a chance to wander the hall. I didn't even wander the vendor hall as much as I wanted to. I think I was there for like a half hour wandering around, and that was it. All right, so into the hot water he goes, and I'm going to give him a good count in there. Just let it soak for a little bit because I want the heat to permeate the plastic. Plastic has muscle memory, which means that once it's kind of been hanging out in a certain position, it'll kind of get stuck there. So the longer you have it in the hot water to ease up the plastic's form, the better it'll be for helping you resituate it. That's also why when you put it into the cold water, you want to make sure you have your 2 extremes, because the cold is going to help freeze it. Sometimes you will come across stubborn minis that might need a couple of dips, not the Roger Rabbit dips. A couple of dips between the hot to the cold, the hot to the cold. Play it by ear. So I always recommend don't start painting right away once you think it's straightened, because you may find after a day or 2 it starts going back into its old habit. So usually I give a mini a week after I have shifted it to make sure that it's held. And you can usually tell after the 2nd day if things are starting to shift, so that gives you time to fix it. Oh, good. You just had to restart YouTube. Something funky's been going on because I had to do a restart too a couple times over the past week. So he's been in here, and I'm going to take him out now. Oh, yeah, he's nice and mushy. Try and pick them up by the base, and you can already tell he's back to being upright. And this, I was going to say the sword, the axe is also not as wobbly as it was before. So I'm actually pretty darn happy with how he's looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my own hands now, because it's not, the mini itself is not boiling hot. It's warm to the touch. So holding him like this to keep him upright, keeping an eye on the axe, I'm going to quickly wiggle him into the ice water and make sure he gets in there. And as soon as he's hitting this ice water, he freezes up, which is why it's important you have the positioning set. Now, if you go in and you go to put it on top and it doesn't sink, get the ice out, okay? You want to make sure it can right in there. Hello, Shannon. Yes, it was lovely. Lovely to meet you. I look like a what? I look like an elven maiden. Well, there are rumors of my Fae bloodlines. Yes, that's definitely a way to help with your wilted spears. So I always let them sit just a little bit, like try and give them a good minute or so. Again, because I want that cold to really snap into the plastic's memory. Firefall, if you hold them in there for a very long time, and if you do like literally keep it boiling water, yeah, you can have it kind of affect the paint job. I have yet to have the paint strip off though by doing this. Boil the water, pour it into a separate cup, then start doing things. So that's from my personal experience. But if you try and do something like where the pot is boiling and then you drop the mini in, yeah, you're going to have issues. Okay, so this is actually good that we had the other tipsy one. Where'd they go? So here is this Knoll pack leader back into an upright position in comparison to how he was before. That's a drastic difference. And really all I had to do was let the heat do its work and bring back the muscle memory from its original casting. So that is an easier way to fix these. Now you can do things like the heat gun if you want to. He was holding onto a chunk of ice. But I prefer doing this method. But again, give them a few days, see what happens before you start going into, like say if this was a stripped mini, I wouldn't be painting him for about a week because I'd want to make sure that yes, this is actually going to hold and we're not going to go back into the tipped in a smooshed state in the box issues. But he's definitely taken care of. So into the water this one goes. Although I might have to do a dump and pour in more hot water. We shall see. Give that one another minute. So I'm going to let that soak a little bit. And the other thing I want to show you. I promised myself, I super duper promised myself, that the next convention I went to after the channel hit 10,000, that I was going to commemorate it with a new set of dice. Now, that technically was Gen Con, but Level Up had actually sold out of the dice that I had wanted at the time. And then my attention was caught by another set of dice. And so went to the floor. Like I said, I had like a half hour in the vendor floor. So I made a beeline to Wormwood to say hello to Chris. Hi, Chris, if you're watching, type of thing. And then went over to Level Up because these dice have been haunting me on all my social media. I've been seeing them on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and just drooling. So what I ended up getting are these beauties. These are the ionized Sakura raised clear quartz dice, and they're stunning. So these are my 10K achievement little reward to myself, and they are beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. I love the shifting of the colors and the details that they have on these. They're just truly, truly, truly works of art. These are going to be my new DM dice, or added to my DM dice. Hello, Johnny Cooper. Oh, you're not late. Everyone's always on time, because when you can make it, that's when you can make it. So this is the D20, and look at that. I love that blip and shifting of color that you'll get with each of these. It's just, I stood there at Level Up and I was just like, ooh, sparkly math rock. So these are Level Up dice. And I also got, I forgot to put my necklace on. Oh, I have a beautiful pendant with the floral pattern put on here. Suddenly I went Midwest. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with the whole set. And like I said, this is my way of celebrating something I honestly am floored still to this day that I hit the whole getting over that 10K mark. And now the channel's at like 12,600, something like that. So trying to keep these in that sweet spot of focus. But yeah, they're gorgeous. And I love the quartz. It's just got this magical quality to them, with this cloudy coloring inside, and you get the different little, they're not imperfections, but the veins, if you will. They're just, so that's the D20. I could wax sweat about this thing all day. And here we have one of the percentile die. But again, look at this. It's just trying to get it so you can see the flashing of the color a little bit more slowly. But, ooh, that one goes kind of a beautiful magenta pink right there, which I love. I'm totally, totally in love with these. So these are my new clickety clacks that are my treat to myself for making it this far. And this is the D4. And I just love these little, like cherry, I think they're cherry blossoms is what they're supposed to be. It's just stunning. They're truly stunning. And they have a black version. So I'm thinking the channel gets to 20 at some point, then I'll go back and I'll get their mates in the black onyx instead. I thought that could be a really cool thing to do. That I wanted to share with everyone. Okay, so back to the hot and cold bath. I'm going to pick this one up and let's see how we're looking. All right, so see, the water had cooled down a little bit and it's somewhat more corrected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put my finger up against to get it a little bit more upright. They're truly gems. Truly, truly, truly. Yeah, they're made of quartz, which means whenever you buy these types of gemstones, you do need to make sure you're rolling them on special trays. I'm using the one I got from Eris Savad. It has a lovely little inset that is padded to protect them. So that's what I'll be rolling in from now on for sure when I go to use those. All right, dipping this into the cold water, making sure that my finger stays behind it to keep forcing it forward. But they have so many beautiful dice. The black is beautiful too. They are just beautiful things. And I'm telling you, Level Up Dice and Wormwood, both of them had very lovely things. And it took all of my self-control to buy a set of dice. Okay, so I'm taking it out to check. I am definitely far more happy with this tilt. We're more in the upright position as I had hoped. So that I'm going to put back into the ice water and sit for just a little bit longer to keep that where I want it to be. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is, since I'm not upstairs and I don't have a running water sink down here, I actually will take, believe it or not, these work out pretty well, lens cleaning wipes for stripping off any things on your minis. Amethyst is my birthstone, and they are quite stunning. There is a company I've been looking at. This one I already wiped down, and I wanted to show you. It doesn't take off the paint or anything like that because it's not a pure rubbing alcohol. Do be careful with rubbing alcohol because that can strip your minis. But what I'll do is I'll just take these little lens wipes and I will use it to just quickly clean off these minis when I am here in my work zone, trying to get things done. You can always give them a quick dunk in a soapy water bath with some Dawn dish detergent because you want that degreaser factor. And then just make sure, see, nothing comes off. You don't get any paint or anything like that. This is literally just to strip any residue that's left. But these two, I definitely want to. This one almost has like a vampire going on here too. Yep, that's the important thing that Alan brought up. Just keep them upright. A lot of times with your minis, just keep them stacked in their upright position. Keep your seats in your upright position as well as your minis. Okay, so with this one and this one, let me see here. So I have a few washes I'm thinking about here. So definitely I'm going to do the Seraphim Sepia for the allegiant, just to help me see more of those details. For our Venom Troll, I kind of want to make this more intense, because I do have the Anthonian Camo shade from Citadel, as well as the Bealtan Green. I'm thinking the Bealtan Green might be for, because I'd like to play up this whole Venom factor more, rather than have it go too muted and just start looking like a classic green troll. So, oh, and this is Thingiverse. Get these suckers printed out and you won't have tipsies. It's actually got a curve to it because it's a flame right now. So it's not that it's fully crooked, it's the flame effects. I'm looking at the wrong camera, if that makes sense. Da-dum-ba-dum. So let me tuck this one over here, and I'm going to start with our troll. I think I'm going to start with covering this in Bealtan to bring out some more of the details, and then if anything, I will do another more vivid tone wash after I go in and bring out some highlights here. Because again, I want this to be more like Venom. Like, you just think more vivid and more intense with Venom. Ooh! It does not want to... I haven't used this one in a while, come to think about it. So I'm just going to go back to one of my classic brushes for washing. And do what I always do. Start at the top and then work its way down. Yeah, it's a flame setup sort. So it looks like it's crooked, but really it's the flames pointing in different directions. So I'm going to start here at the top. And I'm just going to get the wash going pretty much everywhere. Yeah, see? And I'm putting this onto the skin surface to bring things out more. But you have these great folds in the skin that are now popping out. I'm almost thinking of this as kind of like a toad-like, venomous frog-like look to it is where my mind is going, which is why I'm going towards the Bealtan as opposed to the camo, or the Anthonian, I should say. There's just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm liking that better already. It's got it more poppin'. It's got it poppin'. Like already the boils that kind of were blending in before are now a little bit more visible. And the boils, I'm definitely going to go in and do a more vivid, probably like a limeish green. Again, to nod what's going on with the Venom factor. Of course, now that I said Venom factor, I'm thinking of a different Venom. Yeah, that's just it. It's a grosser green instead of going back in with just like a brown. Yeah, I'm liking that much more. Much, much more than the other option. Look at, there's like this bulbous collection of yuck on the forearm. I love it. It's so grody. Now, I will skip over the tunic, or the loincloth, not the tunic. I'm going to skip over the loincloth. I am not going to paint that with the Bealtan. Actually, I'm going to have to paint that because there's a whole streak that's missing from the bottom here, right there. So that I will go in and paint once the wash is dry, just to kind of get that so it's better established. And then I will do a dry brushing and a wash for that, just to bring it out more. But yeah, this you're getting a lot more of the details pulled out now. I'm liking this undertone of creepy green. It's going to work a lot better with the colors I'm thinking about doing the dry brushing in. So this one we're going to let dry, and then next week we'll go in and have fun with bringing out those details. But this has so many little touches to it that were not coming through, and now you're starting to see them. That's why I like doing washes. That's just it. Even just a wash sometimes is all they'll need. I have had a couple minis where I did the wash and I just stopped because it was enough to bring out the details again. So that's why I said these are also a great option for people who are debating about getting into painting minis. This is very non-committal. I mean, if you put a wash on this and you're like, okay, that brought out the details, you truly could just stop right there. Evil Dead 2 Basement Lady. There you go. When you have a mini like this with lots and lots of ridges and textures to it, you are going to find you need to go back around. I always find it interesting when I get to the part where it's like you got to flip them upside down. See what's going on between the legs. So here we go. Get a little bit more on here. Sounds like chase music. Hold on. Sorry, TeknoAxe, but I'm gonna... There we go. I'm gonna jump ship on that one. Here we go. But, oh, so cool and so grody all at once. Oh, see, when there's voices in the music, that distracts me. Under the Moonrise, piano background. I like that, Under the Moonrise. Oh, there's like a super special moon happening tomorrow. It's, what is it? On 12/12 at 12/12 at night. I forget, I think that's Eastern time. The moon is supposed to be extremely vivid and cool to look at, which is something I fully plan on doing. I'll see if I can find the article on that. But yes, I am very much preferring this Beal-Tan look now. This to me screams more of a venomous creature as opposed to all those muted tones. I'll swallow your... Hold on. Sorry, Viper. For some reason, YouTube is deeming that not shareable. I'll swallow your soul. Hell yeah, they will. Yeah, I like this way more. Way, way more. This is going to play along the lines of what I have planned for highlighting it much better than where it sat in its more muted greenish yellow. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just moving those last little bits of wash that are still kind of flowing for a more consistent look. But yeah. And like I said, the loincloth I'm going to go back in and just paint that. And that way it'll actually have color where you want the color to be. Okay, so this is all I'm doing for the Venom Viper, or not the Venom Viper, Venom Troll, for today. Let this one dry, and next week we're going to go in and work on the detail factors by doing some light dry brushing, and then going in, and then YouTube is funny. YouTube is very funny. And then we'll do like bringing out things like the boils and some other stuff on its skin, because that'd be cool. Let me rinse this. Oh, and let's take out our cold bath. All right, so again, I'm going to let this one dry, but standing upright on their own. And you need to sit a spell. Put you over there. So that takes care of the ones where we've had to go back and reshape them. Muse needs to paint out an eye from the... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Which eye was it? I'd have to do an image search, because that could be a fun little nod, Shannon. Definitely. Aw. Getting up an hour early for it. Fried foods aren't... I don't know. Honestly, these days, I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to our lovely little summer eladrin. Potato. I'm telling you. And this one, I'm using the Seraphim Sepia. Same deal. I want to get the details brought out more. And right now, it's very yellowy orange. I like both the yellow and the orange concept for the summer. But I do want to see a little bit more variety on this. So this is one where, again, just by adding in some different dry brushing, it'll give it enough shift in tone to really have things pop out more. Right now, I'm just making sure I am really getting this Beal-Tan out of my brush. Let me get my brush cleaner out. Don't forget, this is my recommended brush cleaner, the Masters Brush Cleaner. You can buy this off of my Amazon shop on my website, thecraftingmuse.com. Very straightforward, very simple. So let me throw my brush. Let me clean my brush. Because if I go in with this Beal-Tan with the sepia, we're going to get a very muddied wash. And I don't want to do that. Sepia has this great yellowish warm undertone to it. And I want to keep that and preserve that. The official book art is pretty vivid too. Yeah, it is. I want to keep the vivid factor to it. I just want to give it some more variety in the details. Beware of the tangerine. Yeah, right now it does look like a tangerine, doesn't it? I have a wedge of tangerine. And that's just it. There are some really beautiful details, but it's flat right now. And we can fix that. We can so easily fix that, especially this cloak. You know how I am with texture. I will wax poetic. All right. I think we're much better now. Much, much better now. All right. So I'm going into my Seraphim Sepia. Same thing like I did with the Venom Troll. I start from the top and work down to the bottom. Why to the bottom? Because it works better that way in my book. Unless you're doing scales, then I do from the bottom up so everything recesses into the scales. I find that works out a lot better. And yeah, just look at one sweep. One little sweep and look at the difference we're already getting. Hello, Volshes. Oh my gosh. Big. Actually, I'll do the bottom up with the back of this cloak because of the details on that. He bathed in QT lotion. Yup. Oh, there's so many cool details in this. We are going to have a lot of fun with this guy, zhuzhing him up, for sure. Zhuzhing, it's actually a term. I am going to need to get a pair of tweezers because look at that fiber that was sticking out the top. I'm trying to see if you can see on my brush. It's still there. So I'm going to take my tweezers. I have to run up. That's 2 flights of stairs of a run. I'm not doing that while I'm streaming. But holy wow. That in and of itself, you're seeing more of those details, like the collar and the difference between the coat and the puffed sleeves. The balloon sleeves, I should say. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I am going to have some fun with this flame sword, so I am going to put a wash on that as well, but I'm going to go into my metallics and just give it a little bit more pop. A little pop. Let's do that. Okay, and then... Oh, yeah. This is a great sculpt. There is some really good detail that just has been hiding in its monochromatic state. Oh, hello, you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold this upside down because I want the wash to fall in behind these leaves and really bring it out. See, look at these details that are just getting muddled away. I mean, I don't want to pull it too close because then it gets really pulled out of focus. But this absolutely needed its wash. And then we're going to go in, like I said, just shift some of the highlighting tones to give it some more visual interest so it doesn't look like the orange tangerine. Yeah. That's just it. It was looking like an orange. Almost looked like it was fully afire in and of itself. This is going to help us better show off. God, the back of this cloak is gorgeous. Uh-huh. Dang is right. You're absolutely right, Kenneth. Dying. I mean, I saw its potential before the wash, but now that the wash is on... Hey, hi, and hello. Dang. This is going to be a lot of fun to play with. So, yeah, the Venom Troll and this fellow, we will definitely do more tweaking work on it. Thank God I didn't just say twerking work. Next week, because these guys have a lot going for them that we're just not picking up before because of the monochromatic factor. You know what I'm gonna do? I have like this little, are you too small? You're too small. All right, so I'm just gonna let that sit and let those guys dry. He's staying upright pretty darn well. I'm happy about that. All right, cool. Okay, so, right, well, I'll do the turtles on my own time. The turtles are pretty straightforward. So let me put away this. Always make sure your lids are nice and tight on these fellows. One thing I did see that was a very clever idea is you can put these into eyedroppers if you want to, and then it's much easier to use. Writing a hackbook for improving pre-painted miniatures. God, that would take something I don't have called time right now, unless I got like a ghostwriter to help me out. I've been trying to do what I can on the channel. Hello, Mad. What is that? King Henry? Mad King Henry. Now I get it. Hello, Mad King Henry. I enjoyed PAX, and I haven't really even been talking about that. So it was 3 workshops, though technically it was 2. The first one was offered twice, and boy, am I glad we did that, because both times it was a full house with people in the viewing gallery. That's a change they made this year, which I love. They had a gallery for people to be able to sit and watch, even if they couldn't craft at that time. So the first one I did was the different tiles in terms of your classic, just foam, insulation, XPS foam, but doing the diamond tile pattern, as well as the classic 3-grid, but doing my rainbow sandstone, which I have shown in a previous videos. I actually done both in previous videos, but they were in different styles. So I thought it'd be cool to bring those to actual dungeon tiles. Oh, and I also had the magnetic option in there, which I'm going to show everyone how this got done for Friday's stream, which is again going to start at 11 instead of noon, because we have a half day with the school and the kids want to go out and do something in the afternoon. So I want to make sure I am wrapping things up by the time the first one gets home. And then offered that twice over. I want to work on this guy. So I offered that twice over because after what happened last year, with how quickly my workshop got sold out and people were actually kind of upset, wanted to be sure that it's one of those things where there was more of a chance. Yes, rainbow sandstone is a type of so it was one of those things where I want to make sure people could actually have a chance to come in, which is why the viewing gallery was great. It's Brent. Ah, there you go. King is king. There we go. See? And I have done undertone colors with my stone before in the past. Like I said, my Dice Tower video, which is one of my most popular videos, that had already addressed that factor where you couldn't put in different colors as your base layers, and then you do an upper layer that makes it look more stone-like. But boy, howdy, is it a really cool effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm first jumping in, and I will use my apple barrel for these guys, my light mocha. So I'm going to go in with light mocha, and I'm going to just start dry brushing a little bit onto his muscle tone. Let me see if this is going to be a drastic enough jump. Almost matches me. Pay no attention to what's behind the curtain. Behind the curtain is paints, and I actually got more paints from Plaid yesterday. It was like an early Christmas. Oops, why did that get hidden? I'm crazy like that. I do a lot. I'm just one of those people who just keeps going. So let me see if, yeah, it was perfect. Okay, so with the light mocha, I'm just going through and I'm going to dry brush this over the skin to better bring out the musculature. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go in with Agrax and give him a wash in Agrax to really differentiate the sinews and the muscle. Which is why I could go up another tone doing this, but I don't want to go too crazy because I know the wash I'm layering on top of this. The name of the video. Yeah, my Dice Towers. It's the Dice Tower video. You want the Dwarven Dice Tower for the paint instructions. That's on my channel. But that's like, God, a couple years old now. Yeah, that's a couple years old. Because I made that, I want to say 2 years back. So it's further back, but it's also in it's in the most popular videos that's on the front page. Usually like the third or fourth video listed. That makes it easier. All right, so you can see here is with the new wash on it, as opposed to no wash on it. And then once the wash, or not the wash, the dry brush. When the dry brush is dry, I'll do the wash, and that's really going to change things up. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to get him addressed to the point of doing a wash on him and then let him dry, and then we'll call it a day on the stream today. Hello, Warmity Painting! Women multitask way better. I think it's because we have like a million tabs open in our heads, so it's just like clicking through the tabs. But yeah, I do have a lot going on, but I enjoy every minute of it. And sometimes, like I said before, that's where I realized I was doing too many games. I was playing on too many streams. Reevaluate and fix that. And honestly, glad I did, because life has been better for it in terms of stress levels. So no complaints there. And some of them time-wise, just they were not meshing well with the new schedule that I have with the kids, because one jumped up to a different school and that schedule changed. And they were doing extracurricular stuff, and it was just, you know, literally feeling like I needed to make a clone to even function. That's not a good sign. So still going around with the light mocha. Look at the back. All those great little bits of muscle definition that were getting kind of blurred together. And I am keeping it to just the skin. Going to do some different things for the browns. But yeah, the workshops were great. I loved doing the how to paint your dragon that I did for the kids. And it's one of those things where I had a good chunk of littles in the front rows. Their parents came with them because that was part of the deal. The parents and the children would paint together. But there were these 4 particular children, probably all about the same age. I want to say like 9-ish, 10-ish. And absolute sweethearts. They were telling me how much they enjoyed painting their miniatures. And they shared with me what minis they had been painting. And then we just sat there and went through the basics of starting with mini painting. Some techniques and everything like that. And they all did a great job with their little blue wormlings. And what I loved was at the very end, and this brought me back to teaching. At the very end, I was sort of like cleaning up my space and all of that. And you hear this little voice, excuse me, can I show you my wormling? And I look up and there's one of the little girls, and it was actually a pair of twin sisters. And she's just standing there, like she's literally holding out her wormling like this to me. Like, my heart. Oh God, it was just so damn adorable. And then her sister comes over when she sees that I started talking to her sister, and she starts showing me hers, and they start telling me about their PCs because they play with their parents, which thumbs up to the parents on this one. And they're chattering away a mile a minute. And then the 2 little boys come over. They're not brothers. They were 2 separate two families. And these 2 little boys then come over, and they're doing the same thing, showing me their wormlings, telling me about the paints, or the minis that they wanted to paint, or the ones they had painted, what they were doing. It was such a cute little show and tell. It really was. It was one of those things where I was like, you know what? This in of itself was worth coming to PAX to do. Absolutely. I fully intend next year, because I will be going back next year. That is in the books. I'll be going back next year to do more workshops. I definitely want to make sure the one for Sunday is family, kid focused, because that was really pretty cool to share with everyone. Jake! Hi, buddy! We were just being spoken about. Thank you, Mad King Henry. That's very sweet of you to say. That really is sweet of you to share. So yeah, Sunday was definitely hands down the most fun workshop to teach, because the kids, being kids, they were just saying everything. Like the little girls walked in. I had to bite my tongue because I almost started like howling with laughter. The 2 little girls walk in, and the one little girl looks up. She goes, "Oh, finally, we got a girl teacher." Like, just this dripping tone of disdain and happiness at the same time. It was just, and her parents like, well, as a parent, you're just like, oh my God. So I just kind of laughed. I'm like, yeah, hi, nice to meet you, type of thing. And, kind of assuring the parents is like, totally okay, totally fine. I'm taking the light mocha and I am pulling it up on their face and the ears. And holy hell, that really just changed the look of them for the better. Yeah, this is definitely one of the ones where just some dry brushing and then doing another wash around is going to be quite the thing. I'm actually going to pull this along the hair too, because what I can do is for the hair I'll do a Nuln oil. Kind of give him more of like a gray beard look. But already that's making a huge difference in the musculature. Ouch! As you should. Please sub to my buddy Jake. He's where I like to go and play on Thursday nights as Cantriel. I keep him busy as a DM. I need to get gummy bears on my list of things to get tomorrow. Restock up on the gummy bears so I can play with the sugar high. Alright, let's get the legs. Same thing. What a difference. Seriously, what a difference. Now it does get a little tight, which is okay. He has good leg days, this one. Look at those leg days. Those are paying off for him. For sure. The wraps, I'm going to let the wash do the work, because they're already a pretty light color. So do your ears burn and then you just decide to log in? Is that what's going on, Jake? It's just, it's funny how that works out. Yeah, definitely like jump around and check out the other, we have some really great collections of crafting channels. We really do in the Tabletop Crafters Guild. The only teeth brush in New York's ever legally gotten. This is true. I could have fun with the teeth and make them more of like a gross yellow. That would be fun. But oh yeah, now we're getting some muscles. I'm going back over in some places just to intensify it a little bit more. Lighten it more, if you will. Building on is better than trying to pull off. Always remember that. Start off lighter amounts and then add as you go lightly and carefully, because otherwise if you try and go through like definitely this thickness, oh no. Burning elf ears. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Did you see the meme that I had done on Twitter? Okay, so yeah, this is my law. That's not even all of them. That's only 4 bins. I've got another 8. I love plaid. Seriously, people. It's a great company. All right, I'm going to use chestnut for... Oof. Thank you, Jeff. I'm definitely going to go in and use chestnut on the loincloth, which we can make another fun... Hello, Dustins and Dragons. Oh, hi, Pupper Duppers. I love that. I love hearing about pets that respond to me. Like, someone has a cat. Well, I guess my voice, they like my voice. They come over and they sit on their lap and they start purring. So, hey, hi. Okay, so I'm going in with chestnut, and this is going to go onto the loincloth. I just need a little dollop. Just a dollop. But let me rinse my brush. And we'll move on to that. New paint storage after the last... Oh, God, I know, right? How many paint bottles was that? Because you and I got... It looks like we got the same stuff. Did I use it in Martian? No. They were very generous. And I got a lot more range of grays, which was fun. They had some good grays, browns, ivories. What else? Metallics. Ooh, and these wood finish things. I'm actually... What I want to do is I'm going to get myself over to Michael's. Hopefully... I don't know, at some point. Maybe next week. Probably next week. Get myself over to Michael's, and I want to get one of their pre-built wood boxes, but make like a special box for my DM dice, especially for the new ones. And they sent along these really cool looking wood paints that I want to try out. There's this one particular color. Jake, do you remember what the color of that bluish tone one? Anyways, it's this bluish tone wood paint that I am jonesing to get onto one of these boxes to create a new little dice vault for my new dice, for my DM dice. Dollop. There are 48 total paint. God, that is a lot of paints, isn't it? Funny thing is I need to reach out to Shayna and let her know there's other paints I need. Okay, so now going in with chestnut. That old chestnut. I am doing like I did before with the skin. And just putting that onto the higher points of this lovely, I guess it's leather, animal skin, something, or maybe it's just really dirty brown, but look at the difference. Okay. Oh, that's right. I have to paint the front before I do anything else. This one's fully painted all around. It's the front. Oh, wait. No, that was the Venom Troll. This guy's good. But this is just helping lift out the details more. And once I go back in with an Agrax there, he's going to look good. It's going to look really good. Yeah, shades of white, gray, brown, metallics, the Mod Podge, the spray out the Ultra. Right now, people, get Mod Podge Ultra. I'm not kidding. That's been my go-to sealing agent, and actually priming agent too. I'm not kidding. What I've done a couple times is sprayed it on, and I have found it has helped paint adhere a lot more consistently and reliably just by doing a few spritzes of the Mod Podge Ultra first and then painting. So that's one of my secret weapons in my arsenal type thing. All right, I'm happy with that portion. This is where things get a little bit more tight. Very carefully. Very carefully. I might have to go to a smaller brush in just a second. But I do want to capture all these great details that we're hiding. Yeah, I'm going to do a smaller one. Yeah, it's good for it. Honestly, I have found it has a great consistency overall, and it's reliably dependent for various uses. And I did discover that you can add airbrush paint. It has to be airbrush paint. It cannot be any other type, but you can add it to a bottle to change the tint, and you can actually spray it on, and it becomes a sprayable paint. So it's sort of a good way to get things primed up. I did that when I was doing the Zobek terrain for the marketplace stalls. I just put brown into some of the Mod Podge Ultra where I had like a bottle that had like maybe a third of it left, mixed in some brown that I had, and put all the pieces into a box, which is the other thing I like. You can use it inside. You don't have to wait for it to be a nice certain day at a certain temperature and spray outside like with so many aerosol cans. And I just managed to prime all of my market stalls within 15 minutes. It was a beautiful thing. So it's one of those items where I will always have it, and I will always recommend it for use. I gotta get between his legs. All right, so that is with the chestnut put onto his loincloth, and you can see the difference already. Big difference. Gonna use the same chestnut on his wrists. Because again, there's some really good, pull it into focus, there's some really good detail here. It's just getting a little bit muddled by all being the same color. So let's just carefully pull some of that on. Fix errors, highlight, dry brush, wash, matte varnish, 5, enjoy. In a nutshell, in a chestnut shell. Ooh. Oh, it's nice to be back doing the streams. I miss chatting with you folks. I really do. That was the fun thing for the workshops. At some point, I just started like flipping through my voices, as I do. And you could tell a couple people were like, are we okay? I had to explain like, no, this is my thing. I use different voices. Look at that. There's so much detail in them. I do want a different color. I don't want to make this the same. I really don't want to make this the same as that. I want them to have a different thick. Lucy, I'm home! So, one moment, please. Yeah, let's go for brown oxide. Hold on. Just grabbed another brown oxide. Let's do brown oxide and coffee latte. I like those two. So, again, more plaid. Folk Art is another plaid product, as is Ceramcoat and Delta. Those are good ones. I like them very, 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 very much. And then I did a panel at PAX as well. Really great group of people. Dr. Megan Connell was the, hey, what you looking at? She was the, I was going to say matron because I'm looking at matron, the moderator. And on the, I'm probably going to forget someone. We had Lauren Urban, Obo Crazy on Twitter. We also had James Introcaso, Adam D. I'm forgetting his tag on Twitter. Myself and Goblin Kate. Was that everyone? I think so. If I'm forgetting anyone, my apologies. I'm like trying to mentally go through in my head everyone who's there. But we all got to talk about prepping, like prepping as a DM, and it was so much fun. Really great panel, and I think it's on Think Geek, that channel. All right, Johnny, thank you for joining us. Really, really, really great to see you again. Okay, so I'm going in with coffee latte, and I'm going to take it onto the leatherwork straps here. However, my brush is still a little too wet. Hold on. Let me blot this better. Is that a battling ram you're holding, or? Doo-doo-doo. I'm saying nothing, darlings. Nothing. All right, let me try this again now that my brush is drier. That's the one thing when you rinse your brushes. You do want to make sure they aren't still holding moisture, because otherwise it was all for naught. All right, here we go. Just putting a light coating of that onto the straps so you can see the straps now. Look at that. Ta-da! That'll work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the, what were you again? Brown oxide, and do that on the wooden part of the battle ram to bring out the wood. And then give it a heartbeat to dry, and then we'll do an Agrax wash And he's going to look far more different than he did out of the box. And because we have another one of these, I can do a side-by-side photo, which I love being able to do. That's always fun. Okay, I'm just really making sure this brush is pulled. And then... is this too close to that brown, I'm wondering? That happens sometimes. Puppy Love Piano, that's the name of the song. Minis with siege equipment. Oh, that'll do, yeah. This one's getting blurred out a little bit by the camera because it is a closer tone, but then again, I'm actually kind of happy with this. I don't want to be too drastic. Get the back there. Pull it down. Okay. Much better. We're seeing more details on him now. Huzzah! Alright, let's give him a heartbeat to make sure he's dry. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna go to the woad. Oh, woad is me. I don't know if I cleaned this guy, though. Let me clean this guy. Maglite flashlight. Oh, things that cannot be unseen. And then, yeah, we could have fun with his base, too. Kind of give it like a sandy, grassy look. That could be fun. Let me think about your base. What are we going to do with your base? Sometimes I do just leave them. Your military is showing. Yes. Yes, it is. Because I also knew exactly what he was talking about right there. Yep. Right. Again, this is just one of those alcohol-infused wipes for your glasses. But since I have browns out, I want to get some of it onto the woad. The wood woad. Oh, woad is me. Oh, woad is me. Needs a reflective belt. Sure. Let's do it. Let's do it up. Okay, I'm going to go back into light mocha for the body. Because there are these fantastic ridges to the bark, and then I'm going to do an Agrax wash, so I know that's going to bring it down more. But all of this detail is getting lost. It's got ridges, like ruffles. Ruffles have ridges. This is just light mocha onto... Actually, no, sepia. I'm going to do the sepia wash on him. Or her. But that's going to look really cool when the wash gets popped onto it now. But there's all this viney, barkish detail. Treepo! Oh! Thank you, Kenneth, for joining us. Treepo. Aw, Jake, you had to go to Treepo. I wish we could have had Treepo. That would have been so cool. Although, Lord knows I have enough little extras considering we have Verdi and Mama. You are very welcome, Kenneth. It's always good to have people join us and jump into the chat. Very much enjoy seeing some new names and faces. Well, not faces, but you know what I mean. Icons. Now I want to see Mob Minis as just having normal jobs. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? An ogre janitor? There you go. That could be a one-shot. After hours at, like, say, like a school or something. God, that'd be a riot. Still doing light mocha on him because I want this one to dry before I do the wash. Why can't I roll my R's? R's are tricky. I will say that. R's can be really, really, really hard. And what I am going to do is a different brown for the weapons. Just to kind of change it up slightly. Nothing too drastic. Once I get this one dry brushed, I'll then go and do the wash on our ogre. The ogre! I think that one I'm going to do the coffee latte. Let's do coffee latte on you. Yeah, that's just enough. I don't want to make it too crazy. Alright, so onto their shield. And then the club. This will be fun. If anything, I'll do the sepia on the body and Agrax on the weapons. to change it up a little bit. But that alone is bringing out far more detail than before, and the wash is going to give it like this unified look. You break your way into the dungeon. All the monsters are gathered in the main hall having an employee benefits meeting. That would be a riot. I'd watch that. I would totally watch that game. Janitoger. Why not? Alright, you can dry now, and you, my dear, you're back in the spotlight. So let's see here. I definitely want to do Agrax on this one. I think it's going to look really, really cool. Carrying a big cinnamon roll. I really want a cinnamon roll. I made some Italian snickerdoodles today, this morning. What makes them Italian? A dash of anise. And it kind of gives it that biscotti taste, but they're fluffy and yummy. And my picky eater, he devoured one. I'm like, here, try this, see if you like it. And it was gone before I could even turn around and say, what did you think? That's usually a good sign. Mind flayers are the school geniuses. Goblins are the freshmen? Dark elves are the emos. Jake, are you seeing this? I like this way, way much. I like this way, way much. That would be so fun. Alright, I need to get my... Where'd I put it? There it is. Like, I need my wash brush back. The wash brush. Okay, is that it? No, that's not it. Where'd it go? Mailman, I really like that concept. That is cool. It's almost like blending together Dungeons and Dragons and those like one-page dealies, like Trash Pandas. The principal is a... What would be good for the principal? Yeah, old wizards. I was going to say wizard or warlock or something like that would be cool. Okay, so going into my... I did grab Agrax, yep. Okay, going into my Agrax from Citadel. We're going to give him a little whoosh. And I will move that bit that's caught in the eyes. I do find sometimes that the washes like to collect in the eyeballs. So it helps every so often just to go back and retouch. But now this fellow is going to have a lot more oomph to his form than he did before. Principal is a beholder. Oh! Okay, I'm liking that a lot. A beholder principal. Elves and dwarves are the rival guys. This could be his... Yes! Yes to all of what I'm reading. Well, maybe except not for the whole crack thing. That, not so much. Oh my god. This could be a fun, like, reoccurring stream. You know, even, like, have different players each week and explore the different, dynamics. Must have an ogre lunch lady. Oh, hag! No, a hag lunch lady. Hags as lunch ladies. 3 of them. That would be hysterically fun. Ooh, that was a lot on the one arm. Whoops! Got a little happy there with a wash. And like before, I'm just making sure I'm moving this wash around. Funny thing is you can actually see it collecting better on the camera, which I have to laugh about. But huzzah, we're getting some of those details popping out now. I'm gonna tickle your belly with a paintbrush, pardon me. Ooh, you're a mean looking one, aren't you? I have my flashlight! God, that would be so much fun to play out. This is why I love chatting with you all. We end up in these very different little worlds that come out of nowhere, but they're always so fun and interesting. Look at that. Look at the difference in that. Details. We now have details. Ta-da! This is why I didn't bother with the bandages, because I knew the Agrax was going over them, so that's going to pop them out more. Which is harder to see right now, but there we go. As they fall into recess, you can see the bandages more. Yep. This is a fun concept for the high school. Oh, God. Let me know if this comes into existence. Let me know. My gosh, are you kidding me? I'd be all over that for fun. That would be good for like a charity stream. Back to back to back one-shots that all revolve around the school. The janitor could be, you could have both. You could have an ogre and a gelatinous cube. Vampires at the school, Casanovas. Oh, this is too funny. Clearly it hit not a nerve, but it spoke. Clearly it spoke to a lot of us, because we're all like, yeah, and then this, and then that. Isn't this basically just Monster High? Mimic trash cans. Cliques in classrooms. Yes! Oh, Jake, I'm all for that. Cliques in classrooms. Ooh, something to think about. Okay, so this is with the wash, and it is starting to dry a little bit. Let me just quickly. A couple spots I see. I just want to absorb a little bit. Yeah. That'll happen every so often. It over collects in certain areas, and just sweep in with your brush. And then just blot it off, like I'm doing right now. Let me see if I can find the other guy, because that's really where it makes a difference, holding them side by side. But now he's a lot more defined. And as it dries, it'll be even more pronounced. Hippie Dryad is an art teacher. From me to DM. I'm kind of already... I mean, the Margrave is very close to that, the weirdness of things. Transfer student to be a human. I like that. Let me quickly see if I can find this other one. Hold on. Transfer student human. Please. Oh, please. I love that idea even more so. Hold on. That's what we had. If not, I will find it for next week. Where'd she go? Off screen as usual. Oh, shoot. I don't know where he got tucked because the kiddos helped put them away. So, not sure where it went, but pretty sure we had another one. This chat will be an anime in about 6 months, right? If we see that come to fruition. Who play D&D after class? That would be hysterical. Oh, I'm liking this far, far, far too much. Please do. I'm telling you. Shop teacher. Oh, yes, please. Okay, so he is actually going to be pretty much done by the time he's dry. I'll show him off next week. I'm liking the hair. I might let this wash dry, and then I'm going to do a Nuln on that, as well as the head of the battering ram. Mimic. Well, I mean, Baba Yaga, she's my girl. She's very much an NPC in the Margrave world. Well, it's in the Margrave, but also in the Last Dare campaign. Okay, so he's going to fully dry. So I'll show you what he looks like when dried up, because I'm going to be very happy with this. So next week, this one I'll address probably 2. We'll see. But this one I do want to take a look at. So next week what I'm going to do, now that these washes are drying, gibbering mouther does the school announcements. People. Oh, see, look it. Now we have like this cool grody green going on. That's what I wanted. That's why I used the Beal over the Anthonian. So we're going to go in, we're going to do detail work on this Venom Troll, because there are the cool boils that I want to bring out as a different color. And again, we'll do some more dry brushing with the skin, but keep it more of like a vivid green as opposed to Baba Yaga Schools for Monsters and Miscreants. I shouldn't have just looked at the chat. Jake. Because I already have a voice for Baba. She's in the last stand. That's how she speaks. Get more of these details brought up, but keep it more in that cool, venomy, yellowish green. So that's the plans for next week. And then for this one, has fantastic details, but it's a little bit too monochromatic. So let's play around a little bit more and shift the colors slightly in different areas to get the differentiations going. But these two will be dry brush and detail work. Okay. Orange and green. So that's the plan for next week for them. I will do some quick dry brushing on this guy, and then we'll do a wash just to bring out the detail that much more. Oh, and I can use some of those new paints I got from Plaid. That Siren as a oh, Jesus Christ. These are fantastic ideas. I'm just sitting here like a grinning fool reading what you're writing. So basically we'll have these 3 to do next week. This guy to take a look at when he's fully dry, but already I can tell I'm quite happy with his difference. And I got to find the other guy so we can do a side-by-side. So hopefully that can happen. You absolutely hit a nerve with the chat. You inspired us, my dear. You did, which is wonderful. Outsider substitute teachers. Oh, we have to get gifts and Luxodons in there somehow too, because they are too much fun. That's how this chat works though, Mailman. We all just kind of riff off each other and it's wonderful. So he'll be more of a show-off piece, and then maybe I'll do some base work on him. We'll see how this all works out. Yeah. Anyone want to do that? Anyone want to do the transcribing? At least we know it is this specific chat where it's happening, okay? Because we're dealing with all these monsters. I almost don't want to end this stream now because you're on a roll. Let's do that. Okay. I'll carry this on for just a little bit longer. A little bit longer. So what I'll do is I'll do, did we already go through the playlist? We did. Hold on, let me refresh. We did go through the playlist. Look at us. Chatterboxes that we are. Let's do the piano all over again. All right. So, I'll work on this one in case. Oh, excellent. I'm glad to hear that, Megamoo. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I'm just going to do some quick dry brushing on this one. Do I have a color out I can use already? I think. Oh, I want denim. I've discovered that this denim from Apple Barrel is great in terrain tile. See you later, Jake. Who is the school nurse? We need obviously cleric. No, home ec, or what was it? I think a cleric of some sort would be really cool. A cleric what though? God, this is too much fun. This is way too much fun. Cleric for a school nurse. What race? All right, so I'm just taking denim blue, and I'm just going to sweep some across. Again, this is just dry brushing it. Surprisingly, this is close to what's already going on, but I'm trying to lift it out of a gray. Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin, hobgoblin. Hobgoblin. There's a race that's like dancing on the edge of my brain. I'm trying to remember. Aasimar. Aasimar. What if we did that? Cleric Aasimar. That could be wicked cool. A drow. No, I think a drow. What would be cool for a drow? Math. Of course, I thought all math teachers were evil, so that's where my brain just went. All right, so I just did a little bit of the denim blue to lift it out of it being a full-on gray. So you get this undertone of blues now, which I like. And then I think I'll just do a quick dry brush of a slightly, probably pavement. Raises student corpses. Hello, Alex. Thank you so much. Starter things to point him to. Oh, there is so much. You know what might help your husband? If he's on Facebook, get him to join the Tabletop Crafters Guild in our Facebook group. A lot of helpful tips and hints and people sharing things. I would have him figure out what kind of project he wants to work on first. Dungeon tiles are your easiest. Tiefling librarian. Oh, that'd be hysterical. What am I looking for? Looking for another color. Bear with me. Ooh, mossy green. Yeah, because I want to kind of give this like a moldering look. Maybe drow runs detention. Yes. Oh, vice principal as a drow. Or assistant principal. Whatever term you might want to use. The DMG info I think is also great because he works with cardboard. That's another good beginning point for starters, especially if channel-wise. Scotty's channel is also great. The DM's Craft. I have some basics. A lot of it's more in terms of scatter pieces. I'm just starting to do some tile work lately. And some Claire cooling gives you an ice pack and a band-aid for whatever's wrong. Okay, so going in with mossy green. Is that even on the brush? Did I get that on the brush? Oh, this is going to be one of those things where I'm seeing it, but I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Alright, I need to change the screen. It is too light. Oh, yeah, we need like some sort of like clairvoyant type for that. Agreed. Guidance counselor. Guidance counselor, let's think. Oh, it's very tempting to do kiwi. That might be too much, though. Oh, let's do this Wedgwood. We'll do Wedgwood green, see if that's better. Yeah. So there you go, Alex M. See if that's a good place to go. Just have them check out a few of the channels out there and see. Have them kind of lock onto a project that's normally my recommendation. Or just doing basic dungeon tiles as well, because then you get used to working with a foam. One shot. You're running for student council in the school. Must be the cliques and the teachers in the election against. Oh my god. We really went off and running with this, didn't we? Let me try this one. Oh, it's the same thing. You're not going to see it. I am seeing it. You're really not going to see it. I don't want to go much more vibrant than this, though, because that's going to be, like, ridiculously bright. Put a little bit more on. There we go. Okay, here we go. So I'm using Wedgwood green right now. And then I'm going to go in with coffee latte once that dries up. I think it's because my light is not as warm. It's getting blued out. Blued. Oh god, Disney Plus. Talking about Baloo. Been going down memory lane. Look at this is hysterical. Trapper in the detention room? Heck yeah. Paladin guidance counselor. Yes. Yes, please. You people are amazing. I am loving it. Seriously loving it. Alright. I'm going to go back into light mocha now. Do a very light dry brush around this. Why did your message get blocked? What message? I'm not seeing it yet, mailman. I'm telling you, sometimes YouTube just gets a little overbearing. Yeah, this is weird. There's a lot of stuff happening here with this guy, but it's not showing as well. It's definitely going to be able to take a picture of it. So now it's gone from being this all gray piece. It's got undertones of blues, grays, and I'm using the light mocha to bring out the higher points more. And then I'm going to do a wash with Nuln oil. But I'm going to let it dry, because if I do this right now, it's just going to turn into a muddied mess. I'm not seeing the message pop up, mailman, at all. That's really weird. I have no idea. Good old YouTube. This one I'll take a picture of. The colors are just not coming through. I think because they're so subtle and similar, but on the table it's evident, something you can see. What I am going to do is just do it quick with the light mocha with a very, very dry brush to bring out these details of the folds. Could do the ogre as the groundskeeper and the gelatinous cube as the janitor if we wanted to. God, there is so much that can be done here, and you are coming up with some grand ideas. All right, so that is the back. You can see just by putting the light mocha, you can see the folds better. So this one I'm going to let dry completely because I just did 3 layers of paint over each other, and I'm going to do an a Nuln oil. And now this has more of a, oh, those colors are just too close. I wonder if I play around with my, let me try warming the colors or warming the focus. That might do the trick. Let's configure the video. One last time, let's play around with that. So I'm going to see if that made a difference. A little bit. So you can see there is more of the tannish tones. There is some undertones of green. Now it's going to the tan. It's the mid-tones getting lost. Oh, that's closer. So basically what I did is I just brightened it up from this dullish gray and threw in 3 different colors to give it more variety. And then we'll do a Nuln oil on top. Just to, again, go into the recesses, and that'll really bump it up a little bit. And that took less than 10 minutes. Okay, you're getting a better idea with that now. So let's leave it here for today. I am telling you, the conversation in the chat today has been fantastic. Absolutely love this whole monster related integrated high school stuff. That's just been fantastic and wonderful. So good, so wonderful to see the usual Muselings. So fantastic to see some new ones joining us today. Thank you so much. Friday I will be doing a terrain-based live stream. That is starting at 11. Okay? And that's because the kids have a half day, so I want to have my afternoon more opened up. So I will start that stream at 11. I'm going to show you what I was doing with those tiles for the workshop from PAX. What I'm going to do is I think I will do the... Yeah, let's do probably the forming them and priming them factor. Forming, texturizing, and priming them factor this week. Next week we will finish them up. Oh, and putting in the magnets. That's the other thing. I want to show you the magnetization as well. So that'll be the focus this coming week. How to get the tiles cut in terms of the pattern, as well as how to get them magnetized to each other. Because I am going to do them dual sides. So one side's going to be a classic 3 grid square. The other side's going to be the diamond grid. So that is the plan for Friday. So I'll see you at 11. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Don't forget to join me over on Mini Train Domain tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. where we're going to be doing the Dawnbringers. It's actually a special Dawnbringers. We're going to be doing a Q&A. So if there are questions you'd like to ask of the players or the DM, please come with those in hand and ready in the chat. And then what else? Sunday is episode 16 of The Last Air. That is the last one for season 1 over on the Kobold Press Twitch channel, a game which I DM. I would love to see you over there. And then we'll just take things from there. I will see you on the flip side on all the socials. I hope you all take care, and I will talk with you soon. Bye, everybody.